West Virginia ranks at the bottom of the 50 states in most quality of life categories, but the MAGA governor over there, a guy named Patrick Morrissey, isn't having his attorney general conduct an investigation in any of that. No, the governor is demanding an investigation into why the WVU basketball team was left out of the NCAA tournament. And no, I am not making this up. West Virginia deserved to be in the NCAA tournament, Morrissey said at a press conference that he called, I swear to God, to raise issue with who got picked and who didn't get picked to play in a basketball tournament. This, Morrissey said, was a miscarriage of justice and robbery at the highest level. Wow. Now, he could have just asked me or read AFP to find out the answer because I reviewed the metrics that the selection committee used to judge the resumes of the prospective at-large teams and found that the committee was perhaps just being nice, listing West Virginia as the first team out of the field, one spot behind North Carolina, the last team in. Morrissey's ire is being misdirected at the inclusion of North Carolina in the tourney field because of possible funny business, at least according to the West Virginia governor, with the fact that Bubba Cunningham, the athletics director at UNC, is also the chair of the tournament selection committee this year. Now, never mind that the NCAA has long since had procedures in place for dealing with perceived conflicts of interest with the rotation of ADs who have served on the committee over the years. And look, let me just say this. I'm not a North Carolina apologist. I could care less if Carolina got in the field, didn't get in the field. That if I can lend any weight to what I'm arguing here. Um, but don't let the facts get in the way of MAGAs loving having themselves some conspiracy theories to chew on. Now, another quote from Morrissey here. It's being reported by a number of outlets. I'm laughing. I'm sorry. That Cunningham had a significant bonus incentive of at least $70,000 to get into the tournament, arguably more if they advanced with more incentives on the way. Now, the presence of those incentives in the contract of the UNC athletics director is not anything out of the ordinary. Take it from a guy who reads these contracts on a regular basis. It's to the point that if the AD at West Virginia, a guy named Ren Baker, does not have similar bonus incentives in his contract, that would probably be a sign that Baker is out of his element as an athletics director at a power conference school. This is par for the course. You get incentives. Coaches get them, assistant coaches get them, ADs get them, assistant ADs get them, etc. Okay. So back to the issue of UNC getting in over WVU. I talked about the average computer rankings. Now I looked at when I did this, and this on my Augusta Free Press website. If you want to go look it up, I presented some charts. I don't do charts all the time, but I did charts for this. All right. So I looked at what Ken Pom, Bart Torvik, the ESPN BPI, the Basketball Power Index, the ESPN Strength of Record metric, KPI, the NET, the RPI, and then the relatively new WAB, which is wins against bubble. All of these algorithms. Okay, so I went to each one, put them into the spreadsheet, added it up, divided it out. The computer ranking for UNC, the average computer ranking was 37.1, 10 full spots ahead of WVU's 47.4. 10 full. It's not like it was close. It's not like WVU was actually ahead of UNC. It was a big discrepancy in favor of UNC. Now, okay, I don't want to. The tournament selection committee made it about UNC versus WVU, but let's spread the wealth here a little bit. Um, actually, there were other schools that WVU could quibble with. But while I'm on this point, the number which is down near 50, WVU's average ranking 47.4, that number being near 50 should feel familiar to West Virginians when it comes to a ranking. U.S. News pegged the Mountaineer State 46th in its recent big state rankings. There's 50 states, with the state ranking 48th in economy, education, and healthcare, and 50th in public infrastructure. That's good. Maybe get the AG over there, JB McCuskey's his name, another MAGA, to investigate all that instead of wasting his time and the state's scarce resources on basketball. Here's a quote from that McCuskey guy. We want to find out what it is that the NCAA is doing to objectify this process. He went to his thesaurus today because there's too much money and there's too much time being placed by too many people in order for this to be a completely subjective analysis. I just gave you the algorithmic analysis. We want the best 68 teams in the tournament. All right, well, one, the attorney general of a state. What do they think they're going to get here? The tournament starts tomorrow. They're going to get an injunction to stop the tournament. I actually kind of vaguely remember that West Virginia had a bunch of issues this past fall and winter with was it state volleyball tournaments and schools suing each other and getting injunctions to because of a ranking system run amok. Look, just because you can't get your number straight over there, doesn't mean that the rest of the world's got to stop and placate you. But imagine if you guys could just get your crap in order and put this kind of energy into improving the quality of life for your residents, right? In any case, if Morrissey and McCuskey really wanted to get to the bottom of things, they could ask the NCAA how Texas, which had an average computer ranking of 51.0, four full spots behind West Virginia, got a bid over a number of more worthy contenders, including West Virginia. But of course, that would be MAGA on MAGA crime. Last quote from Morrissey: "This stinks at the highest level." Now, to be clear, he's not talking about the air quality in West Virginia, which ranks 47th nationally because of all the smog coming out of its power plants over there. He's actually again talking about a basketball tournament.